Welcome. It's your man Got Dots back with another episode of The Audible. Hope everybody had a very good weekend. Hope you off to a great start to your week. Happy Tuesday and all that good stuff. It's the month of October, Halloween. Scary things are happening. All right. Let's kind of just dive into it. Recap of week 4, and I'm looking forward, man. I'm slick tempted to talk about the biggest game coming up so far this season in week 5, but we're going to kind of save that for Thursday. I'm going to do a little talking about it. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to do a little talking about it. But how you doing, Miss Burr? Yeah, we're going to get into it. My observations, give you the breakdown, recap of the scores, takeaways from the games from this past weekend. And then a very good weekend of football. All things considered. Some of the games that I didn't have any particular interest in turned out to be very interesting games, to say the least. Storylines coming out of those games that I did not really kind of go in depth into last week. Well, we're gonna kind of let's start with. I was gonna, I'm a homer, so let's go ahead and start with the home team. Let's go ahead and start with the home team. Round of applause for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, going out there on Sunday, taking care of business against the New England Patriots. Blowout. Now, I am encouraged by the way the defense plays, especially secondary DaRon Bland playing lockdown on the outside. Never allowed the Patriots offense to get any kind of momentum going. But, I am a fan, but I have to be critical of my team when it is deemed necessary. I got to call out stuff for what it is. It's the analyst part of me. Yes, I'm happy we won, but we still have issues in the red zone, and it's going to be very concerning. It's going to be a very big point of emphasis for me when we're looking forward to the week 5 game against the 49ers, one of the lone undefeated teams still left in the NFL. It's going to be kind of a litmus test for us as a team, see where we really stand. I do think we're on that tier 1 of teams when we're talking about the NFC, talking about the Eagles and the 49ers. I think we're right there in that conversation, but you got to go out on the field and prove it. And last time we was out on the field with the 49ers, even though we lost a very close game in the playoffs, I was not too satisfied to say the least. But yeah, red zone issues still continue to plague this team. Once we get down, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, Dak is playing okay football. He's not putting up godly numbers. He's very careful with the ball this year, which I am happy for because he was, leader of the NFL in interceptions last season. So I'm very happy with his renewed focus on protecting the football. But the red zone is continuing to be a killer for this team. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not too encouraged what I've seen through the first 4 weeks of the season. I told you I don't start overreacting until at least week 4. And by that time, the team has developed a pattern, and the pattern I've seen week after week, even in the wins when we've dominated the team on the scoreboard, the red zone offense just kind of stalls out. We get inside the 20. We have no real focus of what we want to do inside the red zone. Tight ends are not playing up to par, especially when we get down to the red zone. Some of the drop balls that we saw on Sunday against the Patriots, we cannot have that against the 49ers. CeeDee Lamb is not getting the ball down in the red zone. I don't know. Maybe you need to start looking towards the outside a little bit more. I know it's a condensed field when you get down there, but, man, you guys got to come up with something. Can't keep walking away with field goals, man. Not if you're trying to compete for a championship in this league. You cannot keep walking away with field goals. As good as the defense is, they have their bad days. They had a bad day against the Arizona Cardinals, and they probably have a bad day sometime at different points of the season. It happens. Even to the best of them, it happens. But congratulations on the Cowboys for picking up the win. And, we're going to kind of keep it to the NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles win in overtime against the Washington Commanders. I've been saying it all season. Something seems to be off with the Eagles. They're still continuing to win football games. Congratulations on them for picking up the win. Or people that know me know, shout out to the Eagles for the dub. But something just seems off about this team. I can't really put my finger on it. Jalen Hurts had a pretty good game. A.J. Brown had a fantastic game. Finally got the ball and was able to do something, do a lot of damage to Washington. But something just seems off about the Eagles. They're not playing as consistently as they were last year. I can't really put my finger on it. The defense is not playing to the level that I thought they would play. This defense is not playing to the level that they played last season. And the offense just seems out of sorts. Either the run game is going, passing game is pass game may be going, run game is um, to allow the Washington Commanders, with basically a rookie quarterback back there, and Sam Howell. I know it's his second season, but this is the first season starting, basically with a rookie quarterback back there. Not the most talented team. I did, have high hopes for Washington. I said, it's one of those teams that could be pushing one of those wild card spots in the NFC. But the Eagles, it just seems off. Yeah, I hear you, Mr. I keep saying they do just enough to win, and eventually that kind of, doing just enough, it catches up to you, and catches up to you at the wrong time. This team, even though they're winning, still need to play more consistent football. How you doing, Keith? Man, make sure you tune in to the. I'm doing a show tomorrow in the other space. It's gonna be the kickback. It ain't that wild stuff. So make sure you tune in for that. You'll catch it on the replay, whatever. And as always, like, share, subscribe over here. Don't do that over there. Don't do that over there. But yeah, the Eagles this seem off. This seem like something is not clicking. This team is not looking like the team that kind of ran roughshod through the NFC last season. I mean, quite frankly, we even though they're undefeated, I don't think you find too many people who would say that the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team playing right now in the NFC. If I had to, get a crown to somebody, have to be the San Francisco 49ers, who went out there once again to handle business. Brock Purdy is doing what Brock Purdy's supposed to do, not turn over the ball. He's not making very spectacular plays. They got so many playmakers on the San Francisco 49ers, and that's what makes them so dangerous, because Brock Purdy, the pressure is not on him to put up godly numbers. He's not the second coming of Peyton Manning. He's not the second coming of Tom Brady. But when you have a Christian McCaffrey who's able to do what he does, to George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, or Brandon Ayuk on the outside, and you have that defense that can get it to lockdown when they have to. San Francisco's best looking team right now in the NFC. I'm so hyped. So it is the Sunday night game up in week 5. I'm so hyped for that one, because I really want to see what my Cowboys. And this is an analyst point. I just want to see what these teams look like when they're going up against a fairly equal level of competition. You can make an argument that San Francisco really ain't played nobody, but yeah, you got to play who's on your schedule and beat who's on your schedule. So I'm not going to make any excuses on that front. But I'm really curious to see what San Francisco looks like when they're playing against one of the better defenses in the league. I'm curious to see what the Cowboys look like. Do the red zone woes continue? Because if you remember the playoff game, it wasn't a very exciting playoff game. It wasn't a very high-scoring playoff game. I want to say the score was like 19-12. It wasn't much to write home about for both offenses. Both defenses came to play out, and I anticipate both defenses will come to play week 5. A lot is on the line. I think the winner of this has got to be looked at as the team to beat so far in the NFC. But congratulations to them for beating on the Buccaneers team that we lost to. I'm not going to take anything away from that. Overall, San Francisco's, team 1. I have to put Philadelphia's team 2, and of course Dallas' team 3. Same way I had it going into the season, and that's how the season has kind of started off. Thus far, a team that I was not very high on coming into this season. I wasn't very low on them, but I wasn't very high on them. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, I didn't think the defense was going to be this good this early. I do know they still have some playmakers on that side of the ball from the championship run, but this team is playing very well on defense. Offense can be kind of hit or miss. You saw the miss up there in Philadelphia, but for them to be 3-1 at this point in the season, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked in the way they're doing it. This is a team that has got a running attack going. The defense is playing out of their mind. One of the better looking defenses so far this season. Still early, but I like what they're doing down in Tampa Bay as far as not putting too much pressure on Baker Mayfield to be out there slinging the ball and trying to throw them to the wind. But Buccaneers, big win over the New Orleans Saints on the road. I like what I'm seeing from Tampa Bay. Now, the NFC South is a very interesting division. I'm curious to see what it looks like when they really start getting into divisional play like that. But Buccaneers right now looking like the team to beat in that division. I have to put New Orleans is right behind them. I know Alvin Kamara came back from his suspension. You got to get him in the game shape. Derek Carr, yeah, doing Derek Carr things. But congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for winning. And like I said, they're right now they're on that second tier teams. I can't really put them on as a tier one team because I don't think offensively they have enough to really challenge those top three teams. Defensively, I think they could hang in the game for a while, but offensively, I don't think they're there yet. But they are looking like the best team in the NFC South. Speaking of the NFC South, Atlanta Falcons. You go to England, and you lose to a very herky-jerky, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type team in the Jacksonville Jaguars. You make the defense look more elite than it was. Falcons. If Desmond Ridder is your starting quarterback for Week 5 going forward, I think the Falcons are going to be looking to draft a quarterback very high in the draft because I don't think this team, if you're going to continue to have Desmond Ridder as your quarterback, it's not going to lead to a high level of success. How you doing, Dr. Nikki? I'm all for it tomorrow. Be there. Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it. As always. Yeah, if Desmond Ridder horrible. I watched the Sunday morning game. They was playing up in London. Desmond Ridder looks horrible. Desmond Ridder look horrible. And I would say this about the Falcons. I want them to continue looking bad. If you're going to continue to have Desmond Ridder out there, fine. Because the rumors are going around that the Dallas Cowboys are interested in former first-round draft pick and tight end Kyle Pitts. Looking to try to get him in a possible trade. It's been rumored that the Dallas Cowboys are possibly offering a 5th round pick for a guy. And I would say this: if I'm Kyle Pitts, get me out of here. Get me with a quarterback who knows how to utilize my talents. Get me in an offensive system that's going to allow me to make the explosive plays that I made in my rookie season. Atlanta is not. This guy's not getting no targets. He's not getting no catches. Jesus. But continue starting them Falcons if it helps my Cowboys in the long run. I hope they're able to pull off a trade for Kyle Pitts. I think you add Kyle Pitts to the Dallas offense. This opens up the field a whole lot more. Actually having a tight end who can kind of stretch the field and put pressure on the defense. On a secondary that is already stressed out, guarding the receivers that we have now. Please, Falcons, please keep playing bad. Please keep playing bad and look to get off Kyle Pitts. Like I said, if I'm Kyle Pitts, I'm talking to my agent, man. How soon can I get out of here? How soon can I get out of here? They're not giving me the ball. And I don't know, what's going on in the locker room. I'm not sure what's going on the practice field in regards to Kyle Pitts, but dude, they're not going to use you. Get out of there, man. Get out of there, bro. I'm serious. Okay. Where we at? Sorry, I got tabs and stuff open. Stuff that I'm working on for the show. Yeah, so late with the soundboard stuff. Okay, but let's get into breaking down some of the rest of these games. Tennessee Titans beat down Cincinnati Bengals. I had Cincinnati going to win this game. I thought, maybe they had kind of turned the corner after picking up the win last week. Obviously not. Joe Burrow is obviously hurt, dragging himself, and he's already not a mobile quarterback. Cincinnati's in a tough spot. Cincinnati is in a tough spot. You're in a division where Baltimore is kind of flying high right now. I think Cleveland is playing a lot better. Even though they lost this past weekend, no Deshaun Watson, no Nick Chubb. I'm not gonna bang on Cleveland too much, but Cincinnati just looks horrible thus far this season. I don't even think they've scored 20 points in the game so far this season. Here, Joe Burrow, richest man, biggest contract, NFL history. I know he's hurt. I think he's got more than the calf injury. I think it's more going on in the calf injury. I don't think the team is going to disclose it for whatever reason, but he just looks off. You're seeing frustration from the wide receivers, but not being able to produce, get the ball thrown to him. I know Jamar Chase had some post game commentary that I found to be very, very funny. But Cincinnati just looks like a shell of themselves. This is one of those teams I had on the top tier in the AFC coming into this season. I thought, hey, Joe Burrow was going to be able to get over the injury when the season started. They was going to pick up where they left off, but the defense is not playing at the level they was playing at. The offense damn sure is not playing at the level they're playing at. Congratulations to the Tennessee Titans, who I picked going into the season to win the division, and they're looking like they're well on their way. They look like they're well on their way. Can't put too much faith and trust into the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it is what it is. That's your team. Feel a way about it. I don't care. Let's get into some other games. Possibly the biggest game. I want to kind of dive into this one a little bit more. Possibly the biggest game from this past weekend, Buffalo against Miami. Look, Miami came off of putting up 70 points against the Denver Broncos. Congratulations for them for putting on an offensive clinic. But what you saw this past Sunday was a team that's got a little bit more heart, a little bit more talent on the defensive side, and way more talent on the offensive side. And it all came together. Blew out the Miami Dolphins. Got after Tua, made Tua very uncomfortable. Tyreek was not able to do the damage that he's normally able to do. Miami, for the first part of the season, has had the best looking offense this season so far. Looked out of sorts. This past Sunday, like I said, Buffalo got after it. They was able to get a couple turnovers, make Tua very uncomfortable. And that's how you have to play Miami. You have to be aggressive with them. You can't just sit back in zone coverages and not blitz and not play cover one or a man blitz. You have to kind of get after Tua, make Tua uncomfortable. Yes, he has some wheels a little bit to where he can kind of move around in the pocket, but if you're able to kind of keep him back there, he gets flustered. And it is what it is. What you saw Sunday was a recipe for beating the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek, like I say, Tyreek had a couple catches. He got loose a little bit, but wasn't nothing damaging. And Buffalo kept the pressure on the entire game. Had a very good run game going. Stephon Diggs was able to get. I don't know how you let Stephon Diggs get in one-on-one coverage against any cornerback not named Jalen Ramsey or Patrick Surtain. How you? No. Buffalo took advantage of it. I like the game plan. Josh Allen didn't turn the ball over in critical spots, and they went out there and blew them out. I thought this was going to be a much closer game. I knew it was going to be high scoring, but I didn't think it was going to be high scoring just one way. But congratulations to the Buffalo Bills, who sent the message to Miami that, hey, you had a very good week before, but we are not them. We are not them. And speaking of the Broncos, I've been kind of keeping up with the Chicago Bears, looking at the progress of Justin Fields. Justin Fields had his best game as a starting quarterback in this league. Best game. Justin Fields looked like everything kind of clicked for him. The reads were simple. He was able to kind of move around. I don't know what the difference was from the first 3 weeks of the season, but this is the best that Justin Fields has looked in his NFL career. And it's in my opinion. Only thing I can probably compare to this was the game he played against my Cowboys last year. But the Bears fall again. I'm not surprised in which the fashion that they did it. I'm not surprised in the fashion that they did it. This is, like I said, Chicago's a bad team. As much as I like Justin Fields' potential, I like DJ Moore as wide receiver. It's been reported that Chase Claypool has been told to stay away from team facilities as they try to look for a trade for this guy. Remember, they traded for him last year, gave up a second-round pick, and now, you're shopping him and possibly looking at getting a 6th-round pick for the guy. I was never really big high on Chase Claypool. I mean, I know he had a little bit of success in Pittsburgh, but nah, it's not a dynamic enough receiver. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He's not a deep threat for real. He's not a guy that can go over the middle consistently and get it. He's not a very great route runner. He's big. He's big, but he's not. He doesn't excel in one particular area. Chicago, like I said, Chicago's just a bad team, and luckily for the Broncos, who came out there and got their ass whooped the week before, was able to come back late in the game. Russell Wilson got cooking. The defense made stops in the second half when they needed to make stops. There was some questionable play calling by Chicago, but Broncos come back, hold on to win by a field goal. Congratulations on them for getting a win. Sean Payton's first win as a Denver Bronco head coach. Hopefully they can kind of get their season righted. I did have Denver playing a whole lot better coming into the season, but hey, it is what it goddamn is. But shout out to them for picking up the dub. And let's see, kind of get it here and kind of wrap up the week 4 Chargers Raiders. I watched the highlights of this game. Defense played well for the Chargers, was able to get after the quarterback tremendously. I think Khalil Mack had 6 sacks against the Raiders. They were starting the rookie quarterback out there, but he didn't look that bad. He looked lost a little bit of the time, held on the ball way too long. But his first game starting playing against a very talented Chargers defense. Justin Herbert is another guy. I think he needs to kind of step up his play, elevate his play a little bit. Not that he played bad, but playing like that is not going to win you. It's not going to take you deep into the playoffs, my dude. It's not going to take you deep in the playoffs. You saw that last season as they kind of choked against Jacksonville, Pauls, and all that good stuff. Probably the surprise team so far this season. Probably the surprise team for me so far this season. It's the Houston Texans. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think Houston was going to be playing at the level they was going to be playing at. I thought it was going to take C.J. Stroud a while to kind of get his legs up under him and learn how to play winning football. But DeMeco Ryans is proven to be the right head coach to set the culture for the Houston Texans. They don't go out there on the field thinking that any team is better than them, and the defense, which is his specialty, is playing at a higher level than I anticipated coming into the season. Dominate the Pittsburgh Steelers, another team, that's off to a kind of a funky start, who I thought would be playing much better. Pickett seems like he hasn't really taken that next step since last season. I know he kind of left with an injury. It's been reported he's had a deep bone bruise, so he should be ready to go for next week's game. But Houston is looked good. Houston has looked good. If I had to kind of rank this division, that AFC South one I'm talking about, based off what I've seen so far, Houston looks like the best team in the division. Do they end up like that? I wouldn't put my money on it, but I like the direction that this team is going. Like I said, C.J. Stroud is not looking like the average rookie quarterback. He doesn't look lost. Justin Fields, you need to be taking over. It doesn't look lost. It looks like the offensive coordinator is putting him in the right position to make plays. He's got some very underrated playmakers on the outside making plays. Dameon Pierce has been a godsend for him when you have a consistent run game. And what DeMeco Ryans is able to do with that defense, how they get after opposing quarterbacks and able to put pressure, and they're playing at a much higher level. You can tell the system he brought in, namely coming over from the San Francisco 49ers, is leading to winning football. Houston, I'll wait about mid-season to kind of give you an update on how I really feel about Houston. But based off what I've seen on the first 4 weeks of the season, Houston is for real. Houston is for real. It's not a team that's going to go out there and lay down. I had them being towards the bottom of the NFL going into the season. You color me wrong so far. Just so far. What other games? Vikings, Panthers, nobody cares. Vikings get their first win. If I'm talking about about your team bad, leave me a comment and let me know. Rams, Colts, good game. Winners of overtime. Anthony Richardson, he's looked pretty good. As a starter quarterback, I like what they're doing with him. He reminds me of his play style right now. Of Jalen Hurts, is able to put the ball, tuck the ball and run with it. Give him some time, give him some weapons. I like what I've seen so far from Anthony Richardson. They're not asking him to do too much. They're not trying to complicate the offense for him. They're not trying to put him in very bad situations. He's looked good for a rookie. All things considered, he's looked good for a rookie. I know they had some losses this season, but he's looked good. He's looked confident enough. I was unsure how he was going to look. Very talented guy, but I was unsure how he was going to look based off the lack of real film from his days playing in Florida. Speaking of Florida, Gator girl, what happened against Kentucky? What happened against Kentucky? I know you'll probably catch this on the replay because you're not hearing it live chat. But what happened against Kentucky? Go Gators, go! Chomp, 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 chomp. And as we kind of wrap up, we're going to look back towards games from last night, talking about the Seattle Seahawks against the Giants. Giants. I mean, there's so much to break apart for this. Seattle took advantage of some poor play and poor decision making by Daniel Jones. I get Daniel Jones. You guys have not done enough to put this young man into a position. Like I said, I was high on Daniel Jones last year. I thought he was a competent enough quarterback in this league. I thought you can win with him, and he proved that last season, taking his team to the playoffs. But Jesus Christ, I mean, everybody's getting after him. I saw a stat during the game. Most sacks on a quarterback during the first 4 games. I mean, he's ranked second all the time. Like he's getting beat up. He's getting beat up. No Saquon Barkley to kind of relieve that. Running game is non-existent. Pass game is, it's only effective if he gets time, and he's not getting any time. I mean, this headhunting season on Daniel Jones. Giants, I mean, I have this team, possibly making the playoffs. Based off what I've seen the first 4 weeks of the season, no, but hell no. Unless something drastically changed as far as their pass protection in New York. And, so far I have not been encouraged by what I've seen. And I'm not a Giants fan, but I feel for Daniel Jones back there. From the time he hikes the ball, the man's running for his life. It's going to be an interesting season up there in New York for you Giants fans. Question I have for you Giants fans out there, mainly a brother of a certain age. Do you try to re-sign Saquon Barkley? Saquon Barkley, once again, is injured. This has been a continuing pattern throughout the course of his career since he's come to the NFL. He is spectacular when he is on the football field. He's able to make plays out in space and in the passing game, but dude cannot stay healthy. Ms. Murray says the Giants will struggle to win 5. If they keep playing, that offensive line keep playing like this, you might be looking towards a high draft pick for the Giants. I wasn't expecting them to play this bad, considering the level of talent that they have, especially on the bookends of that offensive line. But this offensive line has just been terrible. It has been terrible. I feel for Dave Jones. I'm not a Giants fan, but god damn. Can't get mad at the dude because he ain't got no time to really do nothing. You don't have a running game going. You have okay receivers. I mean, these guys are not guys that's, I would consider rolling coverage towards. They're just guys. They're just guys. Man, I feel for them. I feel for them. But speaking of feeling, for a New York team, I feel for the Jets. I think the Jets got robbed. Sunday night against the Chiefs, I think they played well enough to win. A bad pass interference call. Bad. I mean, some of the officiating this year in certain games has not been up to snuff. It's not been up to snuff. Mainly, these calls or non-calls on pass interference, what is and what isn't. And this it's funny. The same crew that called the Chiefs game is the same crew that called the game with the Cowboys and the Cardinals. And you know how I felt about that and the no call in the end zone on that. But I think New York, Zach Wilson played a very good game. Yes, a late game mistake, all things considered, but he played a very, very good game against the defending champions. National TVs. The pressure was on Zach, considering how bad he's played so far this season. I was, if you're a Jets fan, you have to be a little bit encouraged. Like I said, he played a hell of a game. Made a late game mistake. We'll see what it looks like coming out here the next week for the next game. But you have to be encouraged, Jets fan. Chiefs. Same thing I said about the Philadelphia Eagles. Something just seems off. I can't really put my finger on it. This In a game, in a situation, you should be going out there and dominating the team because you're clearly offensively better than New York Jets. For the Jets to even make that much, make it that close of a game, make it that nip tuck of a game to where it comes down to the last 2 minutes of the game, something seems off in Kansas City. Something seems off. I saw a glimpse of it week 1 when they lost against the Detroit Lions. Something just seems they're not clicked in yet. I know it's still early in the season, but when you start to see patterns of behavior, believe it. We're 4 weeks in, and teams are showing they are what they are at this point. The issues that they have, as you have seen, has consistently played out week to week to week. Whether it led to a win or loss is neither here nor there. I'm looking for the consistent play out of a team. And Kansas City's been kind of, leaving much to be desired. Offenses, played well enough to win. Defenses made timely plays, but you got to step up your level of play as we get deeper into the season. Injuries start to mount up. Teams get into rhythms. Teams get on the hot streaks. Maybe the Chiefs are one of those teams, but something just between Philly and KC, something just seems off. I'm not overly encouraged by that, but let me go ahead and just wrap. I think that's all the week 4 games that I missed. Anybody, because I don't want to leave anybody's team out. The Ravens did beat the Browns. Okay, Packers and Lions. Lions went out there last Thursday and dominated against the Green Bay Packers. I had Detroit, winning that game. Nothing against Jordan Love, but I just think Detroit is a team on a mission this year. Is a team that is trying to push towards that upper echelon of the NFC. So I'm not surprised by the performance they put on Detroit. I mean, if we had to really break it down, is Detroit the 4th best team, 3rd best team, depending on who you ask, in the NFC right now? I don't know. Detroit's going to be, if they continue to play, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a tough out for anybody. When the playoffs come around, I'm high on Detroit. I've been high on Detroit for the past couple years anyway. But anyway, let me get my behind up out of here. Make sure y'all tune in Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to be looking forward to week 5. Cowboys and Niners. Obviously, the schedule makers feel like I feel is really the biggest game in my opinion. And not because I'm a Cowboys fan. You have 2 of the heavyweights, 2 of the tier 1 teams in the NFL going at it head to head. San Fran is at home. Or are they, what they look like when they play some equal level competition? Will the Cowboys red zone issues persist? I'm looking forward to the game. Possibly the only other game on the schedule that I could see being a barn burner, maybe. Jaguars and Bills, but not that much. It's pretty much Cowboys and Niners is the biggest game week 5. Like I said, we'll be back here. Another episode of the Audible will be here 7:30, same bad time, same bad channel. As always, like, share, subscribe. If you follow me on Twitter, let your boy know. I follow back, and all that good stuff. God of Dots on Twitter. Thumbs up, thumbs down, all that good stuff. Like I said, I always appreciate anybody that comes out, listen to little old me do my little old show. For those of you who know I'll be in the other space, stay tuned for that. I'm doing a show tomorrow. I'm doing a kickback and some stuff. I got to kind of, I like do my kickback, do my book of rhymes. So be doing that Friday. Possibly doing a freestyle Friday over here. Possibly doing it. If you see it on the schedule, that means I'm doing it. If not, then I'm prepping for something in the other space. And trust me, I have it's gonna be show and tell in the other space. Show and tell. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. I hope y'all have a very if I don't see you again, I don't hear from you again. Hope you have a very good week. Hope you have a very blessed week, man. Hope you are well and living and loving life and all that good stuff. End you off with the phrase that pays over here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.